there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to TRC Uncensored. We got a great show lined up for you tonight, but before we do, our very own Calvomania. Calvin has a birthday today.
That guy.
Birthday, Calvin.
Happy birthday, Calvin.
Happy birthday, Calvin.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Calvin.
You gotta just drink a water, Mountain Dew, whatever you want. Well, let's go.
Where do you wait? Was I supposed to wait? Because I just did it.
Calvin went already. So it's okay.
Yeah, Calvin did it, so we're all good.
Salute to Calvomania, brother.
Baby, that was wonderful.
Woo, hey guys, welcome in TRC Uncensored on Wednesdays. Glad to have everybody here, and we're ready to get started. So another great episode lined up for you this week. A lot of our focus is on A, WrestleMania, and B, the Ultimate Warrior. Of course, you know, we just celebrated or you know, in memoriam of the Ultimate Warrior's 11-year anniversary of passing away, and so we got quite a bit of content dedicated to him tonight. So definitely looking forward to that. Also, too, we got a couple great roundtable questions. So, Kev, hit us up with roundtable question number 1.
Give me a second here. I've got it down here, I promise. Okay, guys.
The Indy one.
It is the Indy one. What's an item you plan to get signed at SCX South or shit? Yeah.
Squared Circle
you all know what I'm talking about.
Those 2 shots already tore Kev up.
Squared Circle Expo. Welcome in, Nick.
Dr. Nick, you missed the shots.
Sorry, my internet was being goofy.
It pulled a Ben.
I'll start. One of my items I'm going to get signed. I already have it signed by Kevin Nash Diesel. It's the Wing Championship belt. And I always loved their feud for that belt. So I'm going to get Brett to sign the other side. And it'll be complete. It'll be complete with Brett and Diesel. And I'm looking forward to that. Brian, how about you?
So I showed that magazine last week that I'm getting done, but I'm getting this other figure done. Will has my other stuff, but I'm going to get this signed. It's SummerSlam figure. So.
Was that Sanford and Son?
Yep.
It was indeed.
That was me. I'm trying to do 4th and what's pin a post. Okay. Is Roger next? Are you done, Brian?
Yeah. Yep.
Roger, my man.
I don't have mine in front of me because I have actually already packed all my stuff.
I don't think anybody has it in front of them, Roger. Just tell us about it.
Mine is a Konesuke Takeshita figure that I'm going to get signed. It's a New Japan figure that I am extremely excited about. Going into Squared Circle, I was extremely excited about a lot of the wrestlers are going to be there. Swerve Strickland, Prince Nana. But when they came out with Will Ospreay and Konesuke Takeshita, those really excited me. I know there's a lot of people or some people that shit on AEW, but they are great wrestlers in my opinion. High flyers. They do great wrestling matches, and I'm really excited to meet those two, along with Brett, of course, and a few others. But my 2 is, and I know we don't get extra credit. Konesuke Takeshita and Will Ospreay.
Fantastic. Welcome in, everybody. Brad, Lulissa. Don't think I missed anybody. All right, Calvin.
Sarah should be there somewhere.
Shooting, yeah.
So, unfortunately, I'm not going, but Will and Shane has my Lex Luger stuff to get signed. And a Bret Hart figure. So.
Oh, yeah.
So I got a quick question before we get to Will. Nick, I think you said something about a rare signing that they're supposed to be announcing.
Yeah. For my understanding, because I commented on the original post, and I guess it wasn't communicated well enough, at least in my opinion. But they said, it was announced 3 weeks ago. It was Will Ospreay.
Okay.
Well, that wasn't communicated to me, I mean, at least the way that they presented it.
All right.
So are
I
they
just thought
saying,
I'd
like
get
you were
the.
saying earlier, Nick, that they're not going to announce anybody else?
Well, they
Yeah.
said that before, but then they announced Dana J 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So
No, that's my
I
wife,
think
by
as
the way.
long as they keep getting names and they have vendors bringing them in, I guess they can't really say no. I mean,
Well,
they can, but
Anna's
why
still
would
showing
you?
up. Anna's showing up because of me. I talked her
Ah,
into it. She said,
No,
"Cool,
this guy.
I'll come hang
No,
out with you all."
no, this guy. Tony,
well, I
Tony,
guess
Tony declined you, Kev.
well, I
Anna's
guess
coming for
Nyla's
me.
showing up because of Roger then, huh?
No, that's because of Manuel.
All right, it's getting deep in here. How about it, Will? What you got?
Well, I mean, I've shown quite a few things to you guys, obviously, that I'm going to get done, but definitely that WrestleMania 9 Jonathan Bartlett poster that we had Hulk Hogan signed back in December in Orlando. We're going to get Brett on that thing. Can't wait. It's going to be beautiful.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, I'm super excited about that one. I've got quite a few items, though, as you guys do too. We just got so much going on. I'm looking forward to it. Manuel Guru in the house. What are you getting signed in Indy?
I might take my Zack Ryder, a couple of Zack Ryder pieces for the great Matt Cardona. But other than that, I'm probably just gonna hit Swerve's table. That's probably about it. I'm gonna hit Swerve's table. Probably get Cardona to sign a few things, and the rest of the time, man, I'm gonna try a shot for PC stuff.
Ben
All right.
Bowman in the house, tag team champ of the world. What are you getting done, Ben?
I'm like, I'm gonna go there and hang out with you all. That's what I'm looking forward to. But I
Yes,
guess
sir.
my main thing that I'm gonna get signs in my SummerSlam poster. Get Corey Wilson on there. I know Kurt Angle's even going to be there, so I didn't realize that. So I might add Kurt too. But
Welcome in,
that's
Dan.
SummerSlam poster.
All right, Dr. Nick.
So I have 2 totes full of stuff that I'm gonna bring, but
Is that it?
Damn, that's all?
well, there's a lot of stuff in those totes, but I'm really excited to meet Brett. And even though I've met Kurt Angle before at least 2 or 3 different times, my favorite piece that I'm getting signed by him is actually something that I've had in my personal possession since it came out on the newsstand. It's a Raw magazine with him on the front of it. And what's so special about it is I have the original Integrities one signed by him, and I'll have this one, and it matches kind of my cabinet behind me. I've got like a whole shelf of Kurt stuff, like signed book, signed Olympic ticket. But the other bonus item is I got a press booklet. It's the program from the '96 Olympics that I'm going to have him sign right on the front.
Nice.
That's sweet.
You know,
And
I'm not going to say who or what it is, but Nick, you just gave me a good thing to talk about. So go ahead and finish, and I want to throw a point in there afterwards.
But I guess the reason why I like Kurt so much is he's such a nice guy, and
Oh, yeah, he
I
is.
followed his career from the very beginning. And there's just so many unique pieces that you can get signed by him. Like I've got gold medals, you can get figure. I mean, there's so many different types of merch, and especially unique ones. Like I seen somebody who got a miniature milk truck got signed by him last year. That was a cool item. So, yeah, probably my top two, Brett and Kurt, are going to be my top people.
All right. Will, you're going to make a point?
Yeah, so he mentioned that Olympic program and rare programs. I happen to know a couple of cool dudes that have some really super rare programs too, and they've been having a really hard time trying to decide whether or not to get them signed. So I think later on tonight or tomorrow, I think we're going to post it in the chat and just kind of get you guys' opinions on something probably nobody in this whole room has ever seen. Probably most collectors have never seen. But it's something really cool. And I think when you see it, you're going to go, wow, that is really something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we definitely need that. That'll be awesome. All right, let's go to roundtable number 2.
Oh. Did Ben go?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
He went before you.
Okay.
Okay, 11-year anniversary this week of the Warriors passing. Do you think he knew his time was coming? So I'm going to go first on this real fast. I won't take it long. Anybody that would cut that promo, which is absolutely fantastic fucking promo, anybody that would cut that promo and the way they said it had to know or something deep in their mind that they were going soon. After he talked about Warrior beating their last, breath and stuff like that, he was saying goodbye to the fans. To me, I think he knew that he was going to go. What do you think, Brian?
I agree. I think he knew he was going. I also think WWE somehow, some way knew that, he wasn't feeling the best. So that's why I think everything happened so fast to get him inducted in the Hall of Fame, and obviously, to Raw and give that speech and all that stuff. So I think it was both ways. I think both knew that his time was coming up.
Right. And that's just, that's just spooky to even think about it. But that kind of promo, and then you wake up at the following day, right? You wake up that following day with the news that he passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Roger?
100% agree. And again, I can't say it no better than you did, Kev. It's kind of very spooky that you cut probably an awesome promo. I won't
Maybe
say
the
one
best
of the
he's
best.
ever done.
I was just about to say I won't say one of the best, but I will say it's one of the best he's ever done.
Yes.
And the things you say in that, people had to have thought, okay, there's got to be something to that. And then the next day, you pass away. Everybody's got to go back and look at that and say, how did you not know something with the way you cut that promo and the words you used? Hands down, I think he knew. As far as WWE, I agree with Brian. I think there had to have been something said there. Maybe they didn't think it was going to be that fast, but maybe there was something there. And yeah, I 100% agree with you, Kev. I believe he did.
All right. Mr. Calvin.
So I was going to go back and actually watch that, but got caught up with dinner and everything else for my birthday. So, but I agree with y'all that he probably knew something was fixing to happen.
Yeah, you just think that because of the words that he said? Is that why you think it? The words that came out?
Yeah.
All right, cool deal. Will?
I think he knew something was wrong. I think he could feel mentally and physically that something was wrong. And, he was very sentimental at the Hall of Fame speech, talking about his kids. He could have got up there in the Hall of Fame speech and really railroaded a bunch of guys, but he didn't. He could have, continued to have feuds with the guys in the back, but he didn't. He had makeup sessions with Sarge and Jake and Hulk and all those guys, and I think he knew something was wrong. And I don't think he had any idea it would be that fast, but I think he knew, something's up.
Right, I agree. Guru.
I don't know, man. I don't know if anybody can really answer that question. Other than him. That's
But
just
you
my
got to admit,
opinion.
it's kind of eerie, right?
I mean, it is, but I mean, apparently, like from what I read today, like he had been saying that for he had been talking about like dying for like 5 years, 4 or 5 years before that, like just in shoot interviews. But I mean, I want to say yeah, he knew, but I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't know if I can answer it because I just don't know what he was going through his mind at that time. I mean, everything
What
he
the
said.
hell is that?
Whose dog's getting raped?
Somebody sit on a midget.
What the?
Is that Ben?
Who is it? Is that Ben?
Gotta be Ben.
My dog's chasing
Oh.
his
Dr. Nick.
squeaky banana.
Yeah,
Dr. Nick.
Okay. Go ahead and finish, Manuel. Sorry.
Everything he said, promo wise, I feel like yes. Mentally, I don't know. I mean, mentally, I don't know. I just think that he knew he was sick. His family probably knew he was sick, and I feel like maybe the promo was more of an apology to the fans, apology to everybody in the back, and more of a thank you without letting people know that something was wrong with him.
Could he have possibly, this is for Manuel, could he have possibly just got into the moment and just said those things and it was just a coincidence? He just got into the moment.
I mean, it could be. I mean, I felt like maybe he was trying to tell the fans he was sick without coming out and saying something was wrong with him. I mean, he could have been going that route too, because usually when you tell a wrestling fan, like Roman wouldn't tell people he had leukemia, everybody was sad and they were crying. I mean, maybe he just didn't want people to feel sorry for him.
Well, we personally have a great point in Sid. We saw Sid 2 weeks later, he died.
Yep.
We didn't know. We had rumors that maybe he was sick, but we didn't know.
Yeah, Ben pissed him off and he died.
I mean, you never know. I mean, like you said, Kev, maybe he was just in the moment, but maybe he just didn't want people to feel sorry for him. Maybe he just wanted to just tell what was on his heart.
I agree with you, Lou. That's a great comment. All right, Ben.
I have no clue. Like I said, people know their own bodies, whether something's wrong or not wrong. And then for me, I believe in God, and when it's your time, it's your time. And I'd all taken it all there. Like I felt like that he made amends before he went, before he passed. Was now got it back, in the grace of in WWE. I know him and Vince, or him and WWE, had that bad falling out. They were around the steroids era, contract times and stuff. I felt like that he made amends with all that, came back, got inducted into Hall of Fame, getting back in, relationships with some of the former talent. And like I said, that's a lot of how we in life, you want to go out on a good note, and also, to make those amends. So as for that answer, he might have known, but I have no idea.
I've seen a interview after he had passed. They had talking to people, and they had him with Vince McMahon, and Vince was tore up. And then they showed, y'all probably seen it too, where they showed where Ultimate Warrior gave him a book, The Little Train That Could. Am I right? Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's kind of a big, apology thing there itself. So, Dr. Nick.
So as a person who is very tuned in with their body, with the issues that I have, when something's wrong, you don't know exactly what it is, but you have an idea of like, hey, something doesn't feel right. And I mean, let's be honest, when a person abuses their body like a lot of the performers did with juicing, steroids, you got to know that stuff is going to have some damage on your body. Now, regardless of what people think, being a performer, doing it as many days as they did during that era, you age so much faster than a normal person. Athletes, as big as they are, as conditioned as they are, you get beat up like that, you don't age like a normal person. So the idea that he may or may not have had in his mind, something's wrong, I need to make amends with the proper people, I don't want to go knowing that people have ill will towards me. I want to say what I need to say to the correct people. Maybe by doing that, it was sort of lightening a huge burden on his mind and his heart of getting in the amends in with the fans, with Vince, with Jake, with all the other performers that he, rubbed the wrong way. Regardless of basically what, and to encompass it all, I think deep down he knew that he was living on borrowed time, whether it was a week, a couple months, whatever. He didn't want to leave this earth in a bad place. So by saying that promo, saying thank you to the fans, thank you to everybody that made him the Warrior, it was like saying, goodbye, thank you, and, just kind of like riding off into the sunset. So, yeah, I truly do think that in his heart, he knew that if he did not right the wrongs, at least the best of his ability, he didn't want to, go home to the good Lord.
Right. All great answers, guys. I love this topic, and we're going to go in and we keep on the Warrior. Top 5 Ultimate Warrior matches or moments. So I'm gonna go first, and I've got them wrote down here, so I need to bring that up. Okay, so I'm going to go to number 125. So I'm going to top first. To me, I think his top moment was winning the title at WrestleMania 6. Of course, we're all going to have the same answers probably, and that's all cool. We can explain different why we have them. I just think, winning the championship at that time was huge for anybody. So, of course, that's going to be the top moment. I have for his number 2 best moment was his last promo, because I think his last promo was his best promo. And that's what we just discussed, if we thought that he knew something was wrong. My number 3 is him and Hulk being the only ones left in the ring at the Royal Rumble, because you knew they were teasing something. Because every time somebody else would come in, they would throw them out, and then they would threaten, they would run the ropes or whatever, push each other and stuff. So you kind of knew that they were leading up to something that was, which eventually led up to WrestleMania. Number 4 is the surprise entrance versus the Honky Tonk Man for the Intercontinental title. That place blew up. The roof blew off that building when his music hit. So I thought that was right place, right time replacement that they had in place for him to do that and win the title. And then my last one is when he was with the Undertaker, and they showed him in the room with the snakes in the whole room, and he was kind of like freaking out. And that's when Jake, ended up turning on him, but they had him in the room with the snakes, and that was something the Warrior had to get by. So that's my total of 5 right there. What do you got, Brian?
So my number 1 is the same as yours, him beating Hogan at WrestleMania 6. Number 2 for me was when he beat Macho Man in that retirement match at WrestleMania 7.
Yes, sir.
Number 3, when I was a kid, that scared the shit out of me. Papa Shango put that fucking curse on him. That black shit came all out. That scared me as a kid. So that was pretty freaky.
Does it still scare you now, or do you think it's funny?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't scare me now, but it's funny. Like I was watching it earlier today, Papa Shango, when he wrestled some jobber, and his feet and his boots started on fire, and his whole head was just covered in that black goop. Anyway,
it still scares me.
Does it? No. Number 4. Number 4. You want to talk about another? I mean, the crowd kind of went nuts when he debuted on Nitro, and he cut that promo on Hogan. That was, I guess, a pretty big deal.
It was.
And then my last one is him getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. I don't think anyone would ever think that would ever happen, and it did. So that's a good moment to have. So those are my 5.
Dan Gleason said Warrior versus Rude, and he also said Warrior on the Funeral Parlor. So those are all great too. Roger?
I have 4. My first is his Hall of Fame, when he was inducted in the Hall of Fame, and it's kind of coinciding. Number 2 is his speech the night after his Hall of Fame induction. To me, that was we said it earlier, his greatest promo he ever cut, in my opinion. Number 3 is when he faced Andre and beat Andre in 30 seconds, minute, whatever it was. Just the shock, and then Andre going, "The ref never rang the bell." You didn't ring the bell. And then my last one is when he came into WCCW as a Texas Warrior. A lot of people don't know about that. When
He was
he
Texas
first
before
came
he was
out.
Dingo, right?
Yeah. He was Texas, then he was Dingo, and then he was Ultimate.
I remember it.
He wasn't there very long, but he was there, and it was the same way. Come out, run into the rings, yanking on the ropes. Same thing, same deal. But
Hey,
those
well,
are my
Lou
four.
thinks she found your weakness.
Yeah.
Those
That might be true.
are my four.
All right, appreciate you. All right, Calvin.
So of course, WrestleMania 6, Hogan versus Warrior.
Right.
And then I got Warrior versus Honky Tonk Man, where he wins the IC title. Warrior appears on WCW Nitro. He retires Macho King, and then Warrior overcomes Undertaker in a body bag match.
Okay, those are all great picks. Dan also puts on there, which is a great match, Warrior versus Slaughter. That's when Warrior got smashed in the head by that scepter and by Macho Man, and then he put a promo. He said that they told him that he had glass in his head, and I told him to sew it in. That was a great promo. All right, Will.
Survivor Series 90, Warriors team. Warriors the only surviving member, goes on to compete in the 3-on-5 matchup with him, Tito, and Hogan versus 5 other big guys, and of course they become victorious. Obviously the Hall of Fame. How can you not? That may be, and I think we discussed this before. That may be to this day the single best Hall of Fame speech out there besides Bobby Heenan's. And
Yes,
Bobby
yes.
Heenan's may not even be that good. I may just be prejudiced towards it. But in my opinion,
That's good.
that's the second one of all time behind Bobby Heenan's. Sergeant Slaughter, the match at Rumble where he loses the belt. To me, that was a better match than a lot of matches he had. Of course, WrestleMania 6. It's unfortunate that has to take a spot, but I mean, it has to take a spot. That's a shining moment,
Right.
And then, I thought I would be the only one to say this, but of course, his debut on Nitro, because it was so big and there was so much expectation to it. And of course, it just kind of flatlined immediately. But, there was so much anticipation, the One Warrior Nation, and it just floundered quickly, unfortunately. But those, I think, are the top 5.
I actually like the One Warrior Nation. I think it was great branding considering it was NWO backwards. I thought it would have worked well, but supposedly they couldn't come to a deal. So
yeah, they just ruined it.
Yeah, they did. Guru.
So I had to Google mine because I was, unlike you guys, I was not a Warrior fan. Just as a kid, I thought he was. I just didn't care for him as a kid. But
No, I get
did
that.
watch,
I wasn't a really big Warrior fan either, but I was a wrestling fan. So
I was a wrestling fan. It's just his promos just didn't make any sense to me. I mean, maybe it went over my head as a kid. I mean, maybe they went over my head as a kid or as growing up. Maybe they went over my head.
That's because you're
But
short.
he was kind of fizzled out though by the time you were watching wrestling though. He was already kind of done.
He would just be rah, 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 and I'd be like, "What the hell is he saying?" But anyway, Warrior versus Rick Rude, SummerSlam 1989. I watched that this morning while I was at work because I was bored.
Great match.
Warrior Savage, SummerSlam 82.
Another good match.
Jake Roberts, the Seas, Ultimate Warrior in the Snake Pit. I enjoyed that one. Warrior Savage, WrestleMania 7. And the one that scared the shit out of me was the Papa Shango curses. It scared the shit out of me. I mean, to this day, I watch it. To this day, I watch it, man. I'm like, man, this is weird. Like, it's creepy. Like, I hope it don't happen.
Were Were you one of the ones that was screaming at the TV? Where's that stuff coming from? Like the
I was
announcers
like,
were.
I told my dad when I was a kid, I was like, Dad, can I do that? He was like, No, son, you're not the devil.
I don't know. I've ate some Taco Bell and had some of that happen.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, good Lord.
All right, Ben.
I was cursed.
More fart jokes.
I guess my favorite top moments of Warrior or matches. Number one is theme music. Every time I heard the dun, 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 dun. And right now
If
it
you're
makes me
offended,
want to
you
go
gotta
take
raise
off
your hand.
running and start shaking
Hey,
ropes.
do it.
That
Come on, shake your
yeah.
head.
But the theme music, like I said, would be my first one. Number two, his wild and crazy ass promos. You just didn't know what the hell he was saying. You want to take a trip to space and all that. Kind of cool. Like I said, I'll be on the ride with you. How I always felt as a kid, hearing his promos. That'd probably be number two. Number three, of course, you got Warrior beating Hogan when he was Intercontinental. This was back when they were dual champions. You had an Intercontinental champion beating the World Heavyweight champion at WrestleMania. And like I said, back then you didn't really see champions versus champions, and that was huge. That match. Can't forget One Warrior Nation, versus NWO. Still love that where they had the 3-on-3 teams where he teamed up with DDP and Hot Rod Roddy Piper, and I can remember him busting through the cage and stuff, which a lot of people didn't realize that was that trap door, which hurt Davey Boy Smith's back.
Right.
And but like I said, that was a cool moment. Him ripping through the cage, and then probably my last one is either either is like his merchandise. I feel like memorable, but it's like because he has some badass figures, some badass like clothes and stuff, paintings. Like I said, merchandise. What stands out for me, and then as you can see, it was where he beat the Royal Madness himself to became which now became from King Macho to Macho Man when him and Miss Elizabeth reunited. So those are my moments and matches that I enjoyed with the Ultimate Warrior.
All right. Appreciate your great choices. Dr. Nick.
Superposed down with Rick Rude. I thought that was pretty entertaining, even though it ended up with Rude beating him down with the little bendy rod thing.
Right.
I know it was a short run, but I really enjoyed the Ultimate Maniacs with him and Macho. It was very short, but very entertaining because you had two guys that, were so intense, especially during their promos. Number three, I don't remember exactly what year, but it was when him and Andre teamed up, and Andre had the Ultimate Warrior face paint.
Well, I thought they were opponents when that happened.
Was it?
Yeah,
I
because he was
thought
the
they were
ultimate
opponents.
giant. Because
Oh, that's right.
was
Yeah,
making fun of
he
him.
was making fun of him. That's right.
Yeah, he was making
Right.
fun of him.
Yeah. And this one, I really enjoyed it. Maybe because of just how impactful it was when he come running in and beat the longest intercontinental champion, the Honky Tonk
Right.
Man, for the the title. That was just such a monumental moment. And then I would have to say my top one would probably be just I kind of have to go off what Ben said, the merchandise. When I was a little kid and I first got one of the very first Ultimate Warrior Hasbros, I mean, that thing was just so cool. You could press slam your other guys. It was colorful. And I didn't even know that the LJN existed because we didn't get those here in America. They were Canadian by that point.
Fuck Canada.
Oh wow.
But I just thought, and then, we got the other two Warriors. And then, we ended up, getting a couple of Jacks. And then, of course, the Mattel ones. But I just always thought the bright colors. I have Warrior shirts even to this day. The neon pink and the green and the blue. Just the overall presence. And I get what Manuel said, where his promos were so goofy and you couldn't understand what he was talking about. That's what made it so funny. Because he'd get up there and he'd be like, just raising his arms, and he'd be like, the power of the ultimate warrior, the rocket fuel and the jet, just going off on these huge tangents. And here's me, 5, 6 years old, sitting on the living room floor, happy as hell, not knowing an idea what the fuck he was saying. But I
You were
was like,
jumping up and
yeah,
down with him.
yeah. I'm like, yeah, what he said. Let's go with that.
Right. You were jumping up and down with him.
Yeah.
Or how about when he would snort, he'd like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
what
know,
he was doing.
I'm like, I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, let's go with that one. And then
Now,
Mean
guys-
Gene was like, yep, what he said.
Real fast, I
Guys-
want to throw one out there that nobody has said that launched the career of a upcoming Hall of Famer. And that's when him and Dino Bravo and Earthquake. Earthquake smashed him on the back. He was supposed to push him up and down. What was that on Superstars?
Wrestling Challenge, right?
Alan? Okay. And he picked him from the crowd. Jimmy Hart picked Earthquake from the crowd to come out and sit on, Dino's back, and then sit on Warriors, and then Earthquake turned on him, and that's what started Earthquake's run. So I just felt that needed to be mentioned.
So I know these guys mentioned about his promos that he would cut. And you don't understand. I say we all just take some coke. I've never done drugs in my life. Let's all take some coke. We may understand what he's talking about if we take some coke.
Yeah,
Just
little burger.
If you listen real closely, though, I mean, you can hear what he's saying. He's talking about filling the spaceship full of the jet fuel and the
Right.
rocket ship, and you're like, what? Yeah,
Now, you knew what he's talking about. You just didn't know why.
yeah. There was no reason for it.
Right.
You gotta admit though, Hogan had some weird shit too, where he's like,
I watched one today. It
you
was
jump
awful.
in the river and you get in there and you save everybody. Donald Trump, you get on my back. I mean, he said some weird shit too.
Yeah, I was watching the Warrior one today, and he said some shit like, the kids will get a Christmas present. I'm like, what the fuck? I was thinking you get Christmas present. It's Christmas, buddy.
Manuel was mad because he didn't get a Christmas
He was
present.
like,
That's what it was.
He's
like, Warrior didn't give me shit.
In my neighborhood, Santa Claus don't show up. The ultimate warrior does.
Not to go off the wall, but you mentioned Hogan saying, you remember when he was in the Dungeon of Doom and he finally showed up? He put his hand in the water. It's not hot.
Yeah.
Hey, so nobody picked Mega Maniacs, huh? Or Mega Powers. That's pretty interesting. As for a Warrior moment, being on the Mega. Oh no, that wasn't them. My bad. I don't know what I'm talking about.
That was my bad.
How many shots did you take?
Yeah.
How many shots did you take?
How many shots did you take, brother?
Hey, another thing.
No,
Another thing I'm
needs to
surprised
come on.
nobody mentioned his run in '96 when he came to WrestleMania 12, came back after all those years, and he beat Triple H in a matter of seconds. And also, too, one thing that I think is really cool that they've done is these bronze statues that they've built for the Hall of Fame, and they built them for the fan access and all that stuff. This happens to be the Ultimate Warrior replica bronze statue. So really cool that they've memorialized and immortalized these guys in the bronze statues. So thought I would get that out for tonight.
So where do they keep those at, Will?
So they keep them in the WWE warehouse, but then they go to like WWE World, which is what used to be called Fan Access. And then eventually when they make an actual brick and mortar Hall of Fame, they'll all be in there in their displays.
All right. Awesome question. Awesome answers, guys. Appreciate all the different answers. So we're going to go into show and tell. I'm going to start it off. So let me pull up my screen here. If I can. Here we go. There's my first show and tell. She got announced for Indy.
Woo.
She is my
Anna
baby
Jay.
doll.
Yeah, she's gorgeous, man.
She is,
Yes, great assets.
so she was at Indy. I had seen her in the, her and Jungle Boy showed up in the lobby. And they asked me where to go, and I showed them where it is. And she had like a cut off shirt and everything. So Ben said, "Hey, have you seen what Anna Jay's wearing?" I was like, "Yeah, she got a cut off shirt, whatever." No, you need to look again. Oh, Jesus Christ. I have a picture with her of what she was smoking. That outfit was damn. I'm just telling you.
Logs were burning, huh?
They were burning big time then.
It was a forest fire.
It was a forest.
Yeah.
That was my first Squared Circle Expo, but that was fantastic. Then I have wrong one. That's my
More
kid
than the
dog.
logs.
Right.
More than the logs.
There's my second.
National treasure right there.
My Tony Storm plushie.
You know, I heard
some
she's
stains
timeless.
on it.
What was that?
I
heard
said
she's
I don't see
timeless.
any stains on it.
Well, there ain't going to be no stains on it.
Jesus.
But there once was a man from Nantucket.
Oh my God.
That's all I'm going to say. There once was a man from Nantucket.
Nantucket.
All right, so rule number 1 on Uncensored: no more drinking during the live because you guys can't even talk. Bunch of slurring
Well, I took
speeches.
a few more sips, so that was pretty nice.
Lord.
But there once was a man from Nantucket. That's all I'm saying.
We're gonna be Alcoholics Anonymous Uncensored.
So on that note,
Uh-oh.
one more.
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All
I'm always
right,
ready.
hold on.
Wait, we're waiting because I did it already.
I didn't wait.
We're waiting on Roger.
Well, I can go
Oh,
again.
I can go again too. I didn't realize we were waiting.
Just want to throw out a disclaimer to everybody. Our views are not the same as their views. Me and Ben are Saints. We're Kentucky Saints.
Just because y'all ain't drinking don't mean you're saints.
You know, hey, well, we wish the other people the best in their future endeavors, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. Hey, we're not driving. We're in our own homes.
Yep.
I don't know. I might
Yep.
be firing up the rocket.
Hey,
We're all over 21. I'm about to fire up the rocket with the jet fuel, and we're going to the road.
I mean, look, you only turned 29 8 times, so come on.
Manuel
right.
might be 4'11", but he is of age.
Miss Amanda says she's on the way.
I haven't drunk liquor in like 4 years.
Speaking of promos too, like you were talking about with Hogan, like he'd be like, I jump in the river, brother, and you jump on the world's largest back, and I swam with the world's largest arms, brother. And you were like, what the fuck are you talking?
Was that the promo where he exited like this, where he was like,
yeah. He's like, jump on the world's largest back, brother.
He did say that, but he still doesn't have a 33 1/3 chance at all.
No.
But then you add Kurt Angle to the mix.
But he had
Numbers
those
don't lie.
pythons.
You take a 66 2/3 chance.
You don't need
Numbers
math
don't
when you
lie
got
when you add
pythons.
Kurt Angle to it.
Yeah.
All right, Brian.
You're all good. So I got this in today. I'm still waiting on some other stuff, but I got this. I was debating on getting this signed, but
Oh,
not
that's
going
a
to.
sweet shirt.
But
That is
this is
beautiful.
Hall of Fame, and then on the back it has all his accolades.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's
And I don't know about. I'd wear the shit out of it.
So I
Oh,
figure
but
when I meet him, I'll wear this.
oh hell yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's
I
all have.
would. Yeah.
That's a badass Hy-Vee shirt too.
Deals.com, baby.
Go to your local Hy-Vee and where the hell you
Well,
live again?
They're only in the Midwest, so. But,
Well, I'm
yeah.
trying to push your store. Where do you live again?
They're Omaha.
Omaha. Yeah, go to Omaha, Nebraska, Hy-Vee. Go meet Brad. Go meet Brian.
Yep. We will take care of you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Roger Elkins.
All right. This week I got
Nice
a big
shirt, by the
box.
way.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, brother.
Oh dear.
What the hell does brother have to do with her?
I I got 2 boxes. I got one from Ben and one from Will, so I'm gonna try and keep them to where they don't get too mixed up. I got the PS4 game, 2K18 from Ben with
Nice.
the special limited edition John Cena figure,
Oh yeah.
which I will be
Ribbit.
taking. The fuck?
Hell no.
I will
Ribbit.
be taking this to Dallas to get signed.
Nice.
Ribbit.
But can you see him?
No, I just have an empty box.
I was gonna say I don't see anything.
That's what half the damn when he got announced for Dallas. That's what half the damn comments were. Well, I don't see nobody coming. Ha ha.
Yeah.
I just have an empty box.
That's why you deserve nothing.
Nothing.
That's what she
You
said.
get nothing.
That's
And
what
then
she said.
I got this from
Will.
I just
Will.
have an empty box.
I got this from Will.
I heard that. Bill, that's great.
And then she followed it up with, "You get nothing."
You get nothing from my empty box.
I got this from Will. I
That's
believe
beauty.
only me and Kev have one of these, or maybe a couple other.
Nope, only 2, baby.
1 of 8 or 108.
Yep,
Beautiful.
number 108.
Number 108.
Because he owns the rest. Dallas does, right?
Yes, he does. Absolutely fact.
Miss Amanda says, woo, woo, he's almost 40. Woo.
Trade him in for 220s.
She got jokes.
He getting old. You getting
Get
old,
her.
man.
Get her, Calvin. Get her. She's lying on you.
I know. I
I
told her I
got
was
this
29.
from Ben from the Francine.
Show your Nyla Rose
signing.
one.
I thought it was Nyla Rose.
Show your Nyla Rose one.
I thought that one was
You
Nyla.
mean you're not La Rose one that you're getting
That-
when we
that
go
one-
to
that
Indy?
one's
You
in
have
the
it,
bed.
brother. It's in your
That
possession.
one's in the bedroom.
That one doesn't have stains on it. Shut up, Nick.
Sticky pages.
Jesus.
And then I got a Hacksaw Jim Duggan program, WWF
Oh.
program.
I love that.
Oh,
What
Look at that
what year is
TRC
that?
blue.
That is
Should be 88.
Ben. I was gonna say I think it's 88,
I'll tell you what, them programs are getting rarer and rarer.
You look used.
but the kicker to this one is it actually has the program card,
Nice.
and it's
What's
not.
Oh,
what's
that's nice.
What's the date right there on the top of the program card? It has a date right at the top.
Yeah, June 17th, 1988.
Damn,
Wow.
I called that. I called that from 1,000 miles away. Look at that.
And it's not, there's no pencil marks on it. Nobody marked it. It's perfect.
Damn, I was like 3 years old at that time. Shit.
I was 3 also.
I was 6.
Fuck all of you. I was old.
Roger was 18.
No, the
28.
fuck I was.
He was
What
I
21.
was 15.
28.
Roger was 34 and owned his first house.
Prohibition
Yeah,
was a
exactly.
bitch.
Prohibition was a bitch. And I got Roxanne in the Freddy outfit.
I'd like to have her in my nightmares.
Coco Beware. You're in her nightmares, dude.
Yes,
Nick,
you're
you'd
right.
like to have Coco. Nick, you'd
She's
like
never
to have
seen
Coco in
something
your
so
nightmares,
big.
Too.
And Ben, you'll have to help me with this one. I don't know who this one is. It's not
That's
Mariah
May
May.
Valentine.
Yeah, May Valentine. Thank you.
Ooh.
And then the guns,
She
The
could
Ass
be my
Boys.
Valentine.
or as they're also known as the Ass Boys. And then I got the Buff. I believe it's Shane Douglas and Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, that's
Nice.
sweet.
That is sweet.
I love that blue, man.
And then
Woohoo!
Francine with her
You know,
assets.
I love that championship.
I've
I'll
seen
tell
a
you
lot
what.
of. I've seen a lot of women do
Anything
some
else?
different photos with some belts, boy.
She is aged very nicely.
Anything else?
And
But
then
nobody did a photo with a belt like Paige.
I
Or
believe
Stacy
this one.
Keibler.
I believe this one is like a one of
Paige,
either
I
one
get
of
it.
one of one or
Sorry, Roger.
Kev, shut up. Let me talk. I believe this is a 1 of 1 or maybe a 1 of 4 at the most.
It's a 101.
The TRC logo.
Yep.
With
101.
Tatanka. It's got Tatanka, Barbarian, Francine, Warlord, Axe and Smash, or Axe and Demolition of Smash, and Tugboat and Typhoon.
Nice.
A 1 of 1, and I'll be getting, whenever TRC does the signing, I'll be getting that signed. And this one, if I can keep the glare out of it, Jakey
baby.
Art
print.
Yeah, thank you. Art print is very, very nice. The green on it actually pops very well in person. And then I'll hurry. Alex Wright, the Wonderkind.
Oh yeah. That's
It's
a beautiful
hard to get
photo,
because
man.
he doesn't sign unless you catch
That's a
him in Germany
beautiful photo.
somewhere.
The Beverly
Oh,
Brothers.
the
Beverly
dual
Brothers.
sign.
That's beautiful.
Dual sign Beverly Brothers.
Roger jumped on that bad boy when I put it up.
Now I wasn't hesitating.
Well, you're not gonna see very many.
And then
Hey,
this
yo.
one, Scott Hall, jumped on that one too. I wasn't letting anybody get that.
Say hello to the bad guy.
Say hello to the bad guy. And then Shinsuke Nakamura, or as my wife likes to call him, Shit Stain Nakamura.
Nice.
So she's not the only one.
We have some camera time.
And that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, you know, I when I posted that Beverly Brothers, somebody had asked me like 4 or 5 times, "Can you show some Beverly Brothers? Can you show some Beverly?" And I posted it, and it was like crickets. And all of a sudden, Roger's like, "I'll take that, thank you." And I was like, "Oh, it's going to Roger." I don't know who the hell asked for it, but somebody had asked multiple times for that Beverly Brothers.
I thought it was manual. So that's why I was waiting on him to jump, and then nobody did it. I was like, fuck it, a dual sign Beverly Brothers. You can't.
Well, just a little disclaimer. You know, the reason I don't hold a lot of stuff for people is because people will ask Ben and I for stuff constantly, and then we'll show it. This is a true story, swear to God. We'll show it, and they'll be like, "Oh, no, that's not who I'm looking for. Or, that's not what I'm looking for." It's like they'll ask for something very specific. They'll be like, "Show me a Rey Mysterio photo of him jumping off the top rope wearing an orange outfit." And you'll be like, "Hey, here's a Rey Mysterio jumping off the top rope in an orange outfit." They'll be like, "That's not the one I'm looking for."
No,
I mean,
somebody asks for Orange Cassidy and you put one up and they don't want it.
For that too, it happens.
Yeah.
Every week.
All right,
Go
Calvin.
ahead, Calvin. Happy birthday again, Calvin.
Yes,
Happy birthday, Calvin.
Happy birthday to
you.
Happy
I thought you were saying happy birthday, Mr. President.
Happy birthday, dear Calvin Omania. Happy birthday to you.
Hey, many more.
You fuckers.
All right.
Yeah.
So I got
And
this from
Mrs.
Will
walked in
today.
the room.
That's awesome.
Which program is that?
WrestleMania
30.
And then it's got the Hall of Fame on the back.
Nice.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, that Hall of Fame on the back is the one that Warrior was inducted into.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Scott Hall and Jake the Snake.
Got this from Will.
Woo! A man called Stone.
Dang. It's
That's fire.
Stone.
And then y'all seen this in the chat, but I had to snatch it.
It's beautiful.
Oh, you had
sweet,
to.
man.
71 of 99
TRC Blue, baby.
Nice.
in the future.
Hey, look in the background over his left shoulder. Look at that Hulkamania pointing into the ring, man. That thing is gorgeous. Right over that left shoulder.
Oh yeah. There you go.
The
Yeah.
other
Gorgeous. Look at
Right
that. Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Look at that. Damn, that's nice.
And then, as promised, got this from Dr. Nick.
Sweet.
Chase
Rip
Hogan.
it. Rip it.
And you know what we do.
All right.
Rip it.
Sure, my
But
wife
who
is gonna
was-
come in here.
But
Oh,
who
nobody
was
showed
Mr.
it.
There you go.
Woo!
Still a mystery.
But that's all I got.
That was for you
Who
to clean
was
up,
that
Miss
guy,
Amanda.
though?
That's right. She's gonna come in there and slap him in the back of the head while we're live.
Right.
Don't be throwing stuff on the floor. Will's a bad influence. Don't be throwing stuff around this house.
Right.
All
right, Will.
right. I'm gonna make mine real quick. So this actually is not mine. This sold to Dan Gleason last
Yes, it
night
did.
for a
Yes,
below
sure
retail
did.
price. But Dan said, I want you to rip it open. I said, hey, don't have a lot of time tonight because we're getting close to our hour, but I can do it tomorrow night on the podcast. He said, deal. So here you go, brother. Hope you're watching. This one's for you.
All right. Now I'll throw it up. Woo. Listen to that tear.
Look at that.
Dan
Dan, I hope
Gleason,
you're
hell yeah,
watching,
rip it.
man.
He
That
is.
thing
Look
is
at that,
beautiful.
That's coming to you. Thank you, Dan. Thanks for all the support too, Dan. Dan's been with me for a lot of years. He had to be there on the first show. Him and Dr. Nick had to be there on like the first live ever years ago. So shout out
There
to
he is, Dan Gleason.
shout out to Dan. All right. So a couple things here. Number one, I got the rare Starcade 97 Hogan versus Sting original VHS tape. Really, really cool. WCW,
Very cool.
man, probably spent too much. But anytime I buy these tapes, I think, man, I spent too much. But it's in really good shape. And another thing I just learned, I mean, maybe I'm a little slur sometimes, but another thing
Yeah.
I just learned is Roger just got the joke. I heard it. They make these protectors. I didn't even know they made these.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I said, I might be a little slur, but
Yeah.
they make these protectors for VHSs. So, I mean, I think that's super cool. I just got this tape. Can't wait to check this one out. Very, very cool. And then, that's a rare one by itself. But then you want to talk about store shelf ready, mint on card, beautiful, the original King of the Ring
Gorgeous.
93. Of course, it's in the protector too. Man, this thing looks like it just got put out for sale today. 32 years old and looks brand new. I mean, there's barely like a
That's
little mark right there,
beautiful.
but barely a mark on this thing. From the
Dollar start.
first ever King of the Ring, man. I'm super excited about that. But I've already placed an order for these protectors. I'm gonna put some of my tapes in those. And man, I don't know. I don't know how I missed that. I mean, I'm usually all about the collector's market and know what's going on, but I'm super excited about these. So I'm starting to put my tapes in protectors. So that's
Nice.
what I got for this week, man. I'm pretty excited about my haul this week. I know it's not a huge haul, but damn,
Oh, it's
some
beautiful.
fire items,
Fire. All right, Guru.
So I had a bunch of shit to show, but Roger took all my time.
Goddamn.
But I'll just show this bad boy.
Cry me a river, fucker.
Hell
That's
yeah.
That's a beautiful figure.
I love
I love
that
it.
punk. That thing's
Pepsi
awesome.
Phil.
And
One of
then
my
I'll
favorite CM Punk fig.
show a non-wrestling item.
Oh, this is a wrestling show, guy.
Check this bad boy
Is that
out.
I thought he was gonna pull out a vacuum.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
You're not gonna smash it on somebody, are you?
Oh, but Jeff Jarrett is my favorite guitarist.
Now, do you play?
I do.
Awesome.
The greatest singer, the greatest wrestler,
Jeff Jarrett is my favorite guitarist.
the greatest entertainer.
Just so y'all know, Jeff Jarrett's the greatest guitar player ever to play.
Yeah, he
Ain't
is.
he great?
That's
Tennessee Lee
J-E.
said,
I
Double
don't know
F.
what you've been smoking.
Woo!
J-A-double-R-E.
if you don't think Jeff Jarrett's the greatest entertainer, the greatest singer, and the greatest performer, then you've lost your mind. That's all I got.
Okay.
Nice.
There's something in
Man.
that.
Raise your
in that
hand if you have
Kentucky
lost
water.
your mind.
I think anytime you talk about Jeff, you should have to say J-E-double-F instead of saying the word
J-A.
Jeff.
double R.
J-A-double-R-E,
double
double
T.
T.
Or since it's my middle name, I want to, and I love my state. I gotta say TENNESSEELEE. That's
Tennessee Lee. Tennessee Lee.
All right, Ben.
Ben Bowman in the house. Tag team
All
champion for
right.
the
Well,
world.
I showed you
on
all in the chat. What's up, guys? I showed you all this the other day in the chat, and just me going finding stuff in the wild. But
He froze.
Yeah,
He
he did.
froze.
Damn, he
He
did
did.
freeze.
That
He
damn,
did.
Slow motion.
that damn food
never
started.
seen this box like that because Stone Cold said so.
That's awesome.
VHS, and then Marin, she wants to show you all what her personal collection. Show them what you got. She has a little mini
Ooh,
Kiss guitar, and
look
it
at that.
fills it up with candy. So you can put like
Sweet.
little candy in there. Other than that, yeah. So those are the only three things we had for show and tell.
Hey,
Live
she should
action.
fill. She should fill it up with Hershey Kisses.
Live
Now
action.
Yeah.
he had three things, but I only saw two because the first one like glitched, right?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did.
What was the first one, Ben? The first one glitched.
The first one was Over the Edge.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
On
Oh,
the VHS, and then the second one was the Stone Cold said so.
See,
Okay.
at least I'm not the only one out there buying VHS tapes.
Oh, I bought 4 this week. Yeah,
I love them. I love them.
me too.
Is anybody else like me? We really don't give a shit what Ben shows. It's all about Marin.
You don't give a shit what you show either.
Hey, listen here, fuckers.
She
We
gets
don't
more
care what
stuff
you
than I
show.
Okay,
do.
Dr. Dick, we're going to you.
All right.
I don't give a
So-
shit about your guitar.
As everybody
Okay, Nick.
knows, I've been working on my room,
Damn it.
and I've got this finally displayed up here. My TNA ring
Oh, nice.
filled with all my TNA Toy Biz Marvel figures. Those are getting rarer and
TNA.
rarer.
TNA as in total nonstop action, not the old version of TNA.
Yeah.
Oh,
So those
oh,
figures are
sorry.
getting rarer and rarer, and I try to pick them up as many as I can, especially in Indy. There's a guy I picked him up last. So you guys might remember these. When Hogan got in trouble, there was a company that still makes figures called Storm Collectibles.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
They made these.
They
Oh
did.
yeah.
Indeed.
These
I
are
love 'em.
so detailed. As good as Mattel's are, these tans on these Hogans are so good. They made several of them, and they're getting pricier. I got some other things here real quick. So we were just talking about this guy.
Turn angle, baby.
That's awesome.
Hey, I
And-
recognize. Hey, Nick, I recognize that green on that Kurt Angle.
Yep, it's from you guys.
Hell yeah.
And one of my favorites. Woohoo!
Ooh.
Can you
Love
bring it to the
Maria.
camera a little bit?
Gorgeous.
There you go.
There you go.
She's
Thanks.
gorgeous.
Love Maria. And I got these
Isn't
last
she gonna-
year.
Dr. Nick, isn't she going to be at Square Circle? Or am I wrong?
No, I wish. And I got this last year, but I had it in a box.
That's what she said.
It is.
Hogan when
The
he was
box.
in Japan.
Nice.
Pretty cool program thing. It's got some pretty cool posters and stuff in here. Here's
Somebody
some of
snorted.
the here's some of the artwork in there.
Itchy bun,
Nice.
baby.
Yeah.
Right?
And
That man could wrestle.
this, I was surprised that it had these included. So this is a sticker book,
Oh, wow.
and the stickers are still inside.
Nice.
Nice.
It's got
Did you
all
buy
the
it that
stickers
way?
in there.
Or is that yours from a kid?
I bought it this way last year at Indy,
Okay.
and the guy was, oh, here's a Hogan poster in there.
Welcome
And the
in,
guy
brother.
was like, it's complete. And sure enough, it's got all the stickers in there. It's got Warlord, Barbarian, whoever had this took really good care of it. I mean, there's hardly any blemishes on this at all.
Come on now,
But I
y'all
mean-
know when Nick was a kid, Hogan wasn't even a thing.
Mhm.
Shit. I was born at 85.
Damn, you're old.
The
Damn,
only
you're
other thing
old.
I got,
You'd be
this right
40,
here.
40 this
Luke.
year, Nick.
Hey, Nick, Lewis has a comment for you.
Sticker or sticky book?
Sticker or sticky
Yeah.
book?
That's Roger's book. That's sticky.
Lou's trying to get us in trouble.
So I got these little
This
half
fucker
pints.
here.
I got Hogan and Kurt Angle. I thought about bringing this with me to get
Damn,
that signed,
Kev, you love those guys.
Yes, sir.
but
I do.
that's my
I
show
love-
and tell for this week.
I love those small figures.
Hey, can I just make one comment when Kev was
course.
like, "Hey Nick, show that Maria up real close." I kind of feel bad for that Tony Storm doll now.
See?
It's on the other. It's on
Hope
the other
it's
side. I
machine
promise.
washable.
He said, "Show that Maria up real close." Like he's gonna
There once was a
screenshot
man from Nantucket.
it. Exactly.
All right, guys. Great show and tell. Absolutely great show. Happy birthday once again to Calvin.
Dude,
I'm glad we took shots. It made me feel good. And I'm going to throw it over to Will.
All right, so not taking this coming Tuesday off. We'll be running wild, Ben and I. And I know I have had several conversations with Ben since last night, and we've got a lot of new merchandise coming, a lot of great items coming. I think, as far as I understand, we're going to focus on being cost conscious again next week. We were kind of cost conscious yesterday. Not a lot of $200, $300, $400, $500 items. We got a lot of lower cost, basic opening price point items. So really looking forward to that. Of course, we'll be live right here next week with TRC Uncensored. The following week, we'll be traveling, so there'll be no show that week, which is the 23rd, I believe. I believe it's April 23rd, right, guys?
Right.
I think.
Right.
I think
Yes.
so.
23rd. There's no show the 23rd because we're traveling, but we will be back on next week. And then as our closing statement and our closing comment, I will say this. If you surround yourself with clowns in your life, your world will become a circus.
Amen.
So take that however you
Exactly
want,
right.
run with it, think about it this week. But man, I tell you, that's a great thing to really think about. So
Think about it and own it.
other than that, God bless the Ultimate Warrior. 11 years, terrible that we lost him so young, but really glad we got to talk about him. And again, once again, huge shout out to Calvin. He's been a great part of our team.
Yes, sir.
Really came out of his shell last year and has really, in my opinion, found a good home with all of us here as close friends and everything. So really super excited to have you here, Calvin, and glad to celebrate such a good day with you. And on that note, I will take one final drink and we will close this bad boy out.
We have killed a bottle of Yale.
Holla back.
Here we go.
Wait, I was supposed to wait?
I
No,
didn't
you're
either.
good.
No.
Have a good night, everybody. See you next week.
All right. Bye, everybody.